It's Monday. It's weather for Weather Geeks time. Happy Groundhog Day, everyone. I hope you had a good weekend, a fun time if you're into football. I hope you had a good time watching the Super Bowl here on 21 WFMJ last night. Wanted to start out today recapping the weekend storm. If you follow me on Facebook, I've posted a couple of times, once yesterday, once this morning, kind of laying it all out there as to our thought process. And many, many, many people had some really nice things to say, and I really do appreciate that. When I post things like that, I'm not fishing for compliments. I'm trying to kind of give you behind the scenes as to what we were thinking, what the process is, how we put together a forecast. When a forecast starts to go awry, especially one that you've promised to be a pretty big deal, uh, some people get pretty upset. Some people have said some pretty nasty things. Uh, a lot of accusations, not just of us, but of weather people in general, of hyping and scaring people. And some people think that meteorologists are in cahoots with grocery stores to drive up sales and that sort of thing. Just kind of ridiculous stuff like that. But people really do believe that stuff. Um, and I've had to kind of weed some of those people out on Facebook using the old ban button. But I have had a tremendous increase in my Facebook and Twitter followers over the last couple of weeks. If you are a new follower, welcome aboard. I'm glad you're with us, and I hope you not only find the stuff we create on my page and on the Storm Tracker 21 Facebook page informative, but also a little bit educational. Gives you behind the scenes look, behind the curtain as to what's going on when we're making forecasts here, kind of how we make the sausages, in other words. Anyway, I wanted to start out with this nice graphic from the National Weather Service in Wilmington, Ohio, which is in the southwestern part of the state, showing the evolution of the track of the storm and why the forecast had to change. Thursday, when we first started kind of honing in on this, the storm track was way down here on just about every single computer model. Tennessee into southwest Virginia. With that storm track, we would just be on the northern fringes, and I thought we'd get a couple or a few inches worth of real dusty, real fluffy, dry snow, but not a big accumulation. Then the models started shifting north, and for a while, as they shifted north up to about here by Friday morning, this brought us into the real sweet spot for the snow. That's a very favorable track for us to get a lot of snow throughout the Mahoning and Shenango valleys, even in Columbiana County. That was Friday morning. By Saturday morning, things started to look a little bit different. Here's the model low track in the yellow here by Saturday morning, at least the average of all the computer models. Now, this particular track, taking it from southwestern Indiana to just south of Columbus, was still a favorable track for us to get a big dumping of snow across the Youngstown area, the entire WFMJ viewing area. That's why our forecast really didn't change for Saturday morning, although the trend was starting to become concerning. You kind of think we're 24 hours away from the snow starting. Surely the model trends are not going to continue. Surely they're honed in on it now. Well, sure enough, they still weren't far enough north. And so by Saturday evening and especially Sunday morning, it started looking far enough north that, oh, geez, we're going to get into the warm sector now. And sure, we're going to get several inches of snow in some spots, but particularly in the southern part of our viewing area, we're going to start to see sleet and rain, and that's going to cut down on snowfall total. So, this is a few hundred miles right here. The change in the track in the matter of a few days. And, the first couple of jumps in the storm track actually meant more snow for us. But then it started coming so far north that the warm air was going to get involved, and that means that, especially if you live south of Interstate 80, you were not going to get 8 or 9 inches of snow out of this. Now, we did have reports of a lot of snow in the northern areas, as we expected. Trumbull and Mercer had quite a bit. There's a handful of reports called into the National Weather Service. There's some 7 and 8 inch amounts up here. These lower numbers, kind of disregard those. Those are old observations. The more recent ones are the higher numbers here. So you see some 7s, some 7.5, 8 inches even in around Sharpsville. Whereas you go off to the south, and sure, it was more like 2 or 3 down in Columbiana, Lawrence counties as well, with the dry slot pushing in and then the mixed precipitation as well. All right, so tough forecast. If you didn't like how it went, I'm sorry for that. This is the kind of thing that's going to happen occasionally. We hope not too much. It has been kind of a frisky winter like that, though. This winter has featured a lot of storms that haven't gone according to plan, and that has nothing to do with us hyping or anything like that. It's just the computer models, even though it's 2015 and they're a lot better than they used to be, they're still leading us astray sometimes. Our job is to interpret those models and not follow them verbatim. But when you look at 5 different models and they're all singing the same song, you're liable to believe it most of the time. Let's move on to new business now this week. We have some weather challenges ahead. Quiet for tonight, cold for tonight. About 2, 3 below. Wind chills maybe -10. There's not going to be much wind late tonight, but you only need a slight breeze to create a wind chill of -10 when it's that cold. Then tomorrow, clouds will thicken up, and here's the first little wave of light snow coming in tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. Kind of think this will be an inch or so, perhaps an inch and a half, 2 inches at most, tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. Here's the SRF model. Wednesday starts right here at daybreak. This is Tuesday night starting right here. So you notice the lines start jumping up here Tuesday night as the snow pushes in. SRF gives the Youngstown Warren Airport about an average of an inch, with the highest members up closer to almost 3 inches. So, I think that an inch or two is pretty likely in a lot of the area, especially north of Route 30. Tuesday night, first thing Wednesday morning. That's the first little clipper. Probably get a break then for a lot of the daylight hours on Wednesday, but then Wednesday evening into parts of Wednesday overnight, a little secondary push of snow with the next Arctic front coming in, and this could bring another inch to possibly 2. So 2 little minor systems, Tuesday night, early Wednesday, late Wednesday into Wednesday night, each one bringing some nuisance accumulations of snow that can cause some slick travel. This is another Arctic front coming in with that second wave, late Wednesday into Wednesday night, and behind that, cold weather at the end of the week. We'll have another couple of nights below zero, at least one night below zero, end of the week, before it looks like temperatures will start to rebound as we head into the upcoming weekend. Let's talk about, real briefly, things outside right now. Then we'll talk about this compared to the end of the week and the weekend. Here's the current temperatures in the 2 o'clock hour on this Monday. 14 in Youngstown, 15 in Newcastle. But look at the wind chill. -1 is what it feels like. So this kind of air mass is what's going to be here at the end of the week, with high temperatures here on Thursday, probably kind of the same as they are now, mid-teens. Another night or two below zero. In fact, I'll tell you, Thursday night, Friday morning, that could be a night where we see some backyard thermometers flirting with -10, just preliminarily. We'll hone in on that forecast as we go through time. The good news is, despite that real, kick in the gut of cold at the end of the week, as we head into the weekend and beyond, this pattern does not look harsh for the most part. There's going to be some cold days in here, but I think less consistently cold as we head towards mid-month. In fact, there's a few days above freezing on this long-range GFS over the weekend and into next week. All right, that is the Monday edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. I'm going to be posting more information online as far as the wind chills tonight, what you can expect as far as snow midweek. As more information becomes available, we'll keep you up to date. I thank you for joining us today. We'll see you right back here for Weather Geeks Tuesday afternoon. In the meantime, check out my forecast on TV tonight on 21 News at 6 and 11. I'll see you then.